should be a little bit late. She had practice.
Okay, so we can go ahead and get started. We got the form. All right, we are recording.
Okay, meeting called to order, roll call from Ms. Bedford. Lindsay. Nancy should be here. Okay. Okay, recognition of guests. Who do we have with us today?
Yes, sir. Need to speak.
Okay.
Here to hang out, see what we do. All right.
Anyway.
We got some good stuff today.
Unfinished business. No, we got minutes. Everybody you got the minutes emailed to you, and you have a copy tonight. Was there any corrections, additions, deletions? If not, I'll take a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay, and a second? Okay, all in favor? Opposed? Okay, splash pad update,
All right, so in front of you, you will have a packet. The reason I made everybody a packet, and I made sure that Patty's already got a packet, I made sure that Kelly down the hall's got a packet, because it seems like before I came here, we were looking for restroom plans, and we couldn't find them. So this is 3 pieces. So these full 3 pieces, come on in, you're good. Another recognition of guests, this is one of our Boy Scouts, he's here for his communication badge, she has to come to a meeting, so I invite him to
what's the name?
ours.
Landon Cicero, C-I-C-E-R-O.
Okay. Thank you.
So with the splash pad, it will start off with the site plan. The site plan, of course, is what they do with, moving all the dirt and where the utility lines are and all that stuff. So that was from Mr. Gerald Vick. This was submitted yesterday and to Robert's office, so it goes before the Planning Commission April 14th. I don't project there's going to be any issues. So once that gets approved, I can send it to the state. The second part of it, you guys have seen a little bit of this. This is the Mount Pleasant Splash Pad restroom, but it's got the whole thing in there. It shows you as far as the ADA access bars, the pump room, all that good stuff that goes with it. What it looks like, architect, all that good stuff. The next section is going to be full vortex. Vortex is showing your splash pad. Of course, you got my little diagram in there. It's colorful where we kind of had it. And it's got everything in there as far as all the vortex lines and the splash pad and all that good stuff. The only thing that's not on here is your 2 components, one of them, which is at the high school. Looks great. They started working on that already. And then we got the Tigers will be done sooner than later, and then as well. So I will go ahead and break you all this news on the splash pad. So, because of, I know everybody wanted to see it happen this summer, it's not going to happen this summer. And I have tons of reasoning for that. First reason is this, once it gets approved April, has to go to the state. The state can take anywhere from, they say normally allow 2 to 3 months. With everything you got going on in Nashville, I'm expecting probably a little bit longer, so I'm not even submitting to April. Again, the high school is working on this plan as well, trying to help us out with this. The other part of that is Vortex. Vortex gave me a call last week, and they said if you can't order today or by tomorrow, then there's no way I can get this stuff to you before really June or first part of July, because it's summer season, people's pumps are going out, and they're going to take priority over that type of stuff. So there's no way to manufacture all that stuff and get it ready. Me personally, I didn't feel comfortable with going ahead and ordering any of that type of supplies and just having it sit here, and I can't put a shovel in the ground until after it's approved by the state. They're the ones giving us $75,000, so I'm not ready to spend $60,000 of that and not have an actual approval from the state on that. So the good news on that is that I have met with the high school already. I met with Kate Finn, and this works out good in the favor with the high school really putting even more of a part in on it, because we can start probably the second week of August. So you got August, September, October before it even really starts getting cold. Sometimes around here it doesn't get cold until December. So we'll have a good 3 or 4 months. The other thing that comes into play, you got to remember when we build a splash pad, I've learned a lot about this. A lot of parks directors just say, build me a splash pad, and here's $500,000. With us, we're doing it, we're doing it in phases and different pieces, and the high school and everything else, is that, you have to also have your contractors, and a lot of our people are volunteering their time. So out of respect, I can't just say, hey, I need you out here next week, and go ahead and start leveling my dirt. That's not gonna happen either. So out of respect, I wanna have more of a timeline, and I'm gonna work with Kate Finn on that this summer, once we see that it comes back. She's really excited about it, because in that way, we can actually do the plumbing portions of it with the high school, and then the plumbing portions up for the bathroom, and then building the actual bathroom up, and then kind of get some community partners behind us to be able to do that. So we have a plan. It's not what I wanted. I know it's not what everybody else wanted. It's a long time coming, but I'm gonna tell you, 3 years right here. I'm excited that I have this today, okay? I got this finalized. I picked it up from Gerald Vick's office yesterday. This is 3 years. You gotta remember, this 3 years right here has not cost us but maybe $1,000.
All that's donated.
Everything's donated except for the pack, and it's not even in this packet, which is where my septic tank thing's gonna go. We had to pay for all that, for someone to come out and look at that. So this is probably about an $80,000 packet, am I probably correct, somewhere around there? About an $80,000 packet right here, it's all been donated. So that's why, again, we gotta make sure we appreciate in here when it comes down, and we're gonna have that big sign out there, it's on the splash pad. So I'm excited that we've got this, and I'm excited to move forward with it, and I apologize that it's not gonna happen this summer. It's just, there's just no way, I'm not gonna try to pull my hair out over it, because it's not gonna happen that quick, so.
Even if it was approved by the planning commission today, you're not gonna meet the construction season.
It's still not gonna happen, so I kind of.
It's one thing on here, Thomas, because the address has changed, because it's no longer North Locust, it's now Tiger Trail.
Yes.
And that's an easy change for him to make. On page 1 and 2, he has it as 621 North Locust, and I heard the 911 people say, keep the same number, just change it to Tiger Trail. So it's 621 Tiger Trail is the address now.
621 Tiger
Yeah,
Trail.
I only see it on those first 2 pages, but it could be on all of them, I'm not sure. That's an easy fix.
Okay. I'll take care of that. But again, it's been a long time coming, but 3.5 years I've been here, 3 years I've been working on this. This is what we've got, and we've got a good plan in place. And this is a nice splash pad, so that's where we're at. Any other questions on that?
Okay, posting park rules is our next discussion topic.
So, that's an ongoing process, but I am working on the signage right now with, down the street. He's supposed to get me a cost on that for my budget. That's one of the last couple things I really needed on the budget. So once we get that together and we find out how much they are, then we can actually work on that in a, study session or something and really get those rules out on what we want them to look like.
All right. Now, have you already done the components that?
Components are the same thing. I will tell you the Tiger, I've held off on having the Tiger actually done because I want to use it as part of the steam process, and I'm asking them I can either have it painted. That's the money that came from y'all's board that's paying for that. So we got more than enough money to be able to take care of the Tiger and the plumbing, but I'm trying to get with Kate Finn on that. There's no sense in doing it right now, just having that piece lay around. So we've already got one piece sitting out there at the high school laying around, so we'll hold off on that until fall, and we'll actually get that Tiger piece taken care of. So, and all that money that's in the budget type stuff, I've already had a talk with Kate and them on that. It's all going to transfer over, so no issues there.
Budget request.
So budget request, that was everything I asked from before. I've got almost everything done. So there's a few things left. The field lighting, I'm still waiting to hear from, I gave you all the first one on that. That one's not going to happen because that's $75,000 a year. Again, the reason why that was so cheap when they did Brewer Field, is it Brewer that they did? Yeah, they did Brewer. When they did Brewer is because we still can't find the dollar figure, but there was a grant that was in place for that through LPRF that they did from years ago, so I don't know how much that money was.
I don't remember that, I may have it.
Yeah, it's probably going to be close to $100,000 or somewhere in there
I
because...
think it's in a blue notebook from those few years, because I kept everything in there. I may have it if I do.
And that offset the price, so when they gave me the price on how much they were showing it's going to cost to do those lights, I had a heart attack. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm paying $328 a month is what I'm paying on the other one. nowhere near what they were giving me. It was like $1,100-1,200 per field. So he's looking at some other options on that, and we're trying to find some grants on that as well.
Mother-son dance.
Mother-son dance. So, let me see, I know you're not gonna be here, correct? April won't be here, so what I've done is, when April told me that the other day, I finally figured out a way that, we got plenty of kids. I think I'm allowed to sign off in their hours, right? 'Cause I told them I can.
I can sign off on them if you can.
Okay. So, I've
You
got,
should be able to.
I got 6 or 7 teenagers already, some pretty mature ones, that I kinda reached out to on Monday. They're gonna help us out, so I got people doing the punch and all that
And I'll
different
be
stuff.
there. I'll come.
Okay, and I've got,
I'll have to get a picture person. They have a tournament. I'll be up here with you.
what about Alicia?
Alicia's in pictures.
Okay, Alicia will be there?
Yeah, you already put your mark up there, but you can see the, okay. I'll arrange it. Well, her brother-in-law, she doesn't know. I'll get with her. If Alicia can't do it, we'll get taken care of.
And so, yeah, so supposedly Alicia's gonna be there, and I talked to her the other day, and then I've got some people that can help with it. All I need is the forms, if I can pick those up.
They're on my computer.
And I've got 2 or 3 people that can help manage that. 3:34 is what time I've got all them getting there.
The backdrop is delivered.
I've got the backdrops in my truck. I've got all my stuff at the center, all that. I've got all the glow sticks.
You can use the green carpet for the backdrop.
The what now?
You can use the green carpet for the backdrop.
Okay. So we've got all that, and
So
then
3:30 is when you're gonna be there to set up.
I'll have most of the tables and stuff set up on Friday. I usually do that with the maintenance guys if it's raining. We can get that taken care of already, and the lights up and stuff like that, so,
Are you picking up balloons?
yes, I'll pick those
Okay,
up.
when you get those this time, roll within the store before you walk out. Roll them up. Okay? If you don't, they get in.
You whether or not I'm saying
it before, I was
Roll
like-
them up.
Yeah, I think I sent Trent Cedric last time to help Clark and Kane.
It's like a, everything like that, I was like, I'm gonna take hours to get this up. It took 30 minutes to get balloons
It
separated.
is. Roll them up,
Alright.
and then carry them out and set them in, and just leave them roll till you get them back.
My goodness.
I'll remind Clark
Or
and
just
Kane.
get
They're usually my
delivery.
balloon people, so they'll take
Yeah,
care
they
of
put the things
that.
back in, it was worse than.
I got the glow sticks and all that, the tablecloths. Patty picked up the round ones today for me from Walmart. It's the only ones I couldn't find in the right colors. So, like, I got 6 or 7 extra people there, so they'll be able to help.
I'll be there to help
Different
set
things.
up. I'm
Okay.
just gonna take her.
Yeah, that'll be the main thing, is setting up that backdrop.
I'll
So,
get that.
once we can get that backdrop set up.
So I need to shop or?
I'm gonna pick up.
She's gonna take care of it.
I went ahead and got cups, plates, napkins, all that, and brought those to him tonight to go ahead and take. And then, I can pick the other stuff up on the way on Friday.
We're gonna give you the night off.
Okay.
I got this covered. I said, I haven't heard from Misty yet, but I already heard, so I said, we gotta get some more people, because Misty's like, 3 or 4 of them, so, I said, I need like 6 or 7 extra people in here helping out. So we got that taken care of.
Hey, we need one, the water one, we just need it set up on something.
I can get it
Last time
just
I
like
did-
that. I'll get that.
Say the punch bowl thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need the ones that have like a bottom.
Dana's got one just like the one we can punch in. It's identical to it. I'll get her. I'll make sure we have those.
Supposedly they have one down here somewhere too, and I might see if
In the
it,
kitchen.
is it a big one?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's what they were telling me today, because I was gonna have them buy me one, and they said that they thought they had one down here, that I can just keep out there, when they need it down here, we'll bring it. So otherwise I was gonna buy one so we don't have to use everybody else's, but bring it just in case, and I'll bring that one down, make sure we have the right size. And you know how to pick up the punch stuff? I don't know, that's like ice cream or whatever she puts in there.
It's easy.
Sherbet or something, I don't know.
We'll take care of it.
Just mix it together, it'll be all right. The boys won't notice.
Oh, they'll-
Oh, the moms will though.
Come on.
All right.
I'll update the playlist and change out. The rest, most songs are today, but I'll add in some other sons, mother.
Yeah, there you go.
Outfit, father, daughter. Maybe you can say
So you'll be there for the dancing? I'll probably put you with pictures, because that's where most money's coming in. No, they'll be there to help out, but because I've got teenagers
I
helping
can't
out
take
with
no
that.
pictures now.
No, they'll take them. I just need someone to make sure the list gets done right, because that's the hardest thing. I've got, I think Gracie and somebody else. I've got Clark Hill's sister coming as well. Gracie and her friends, they're sophomore, I think. Yeah, Katie Hill, there's Gracie and Lexi or something. They're pretty responsible kids in the center, so I know they're gonna be there, a couple other ones, so.
We'll take care of it. All right. Any more unfinished business? Anything? How was it's not listed on here, but how did the father-daughter dance go? How many kids we had, anything like that?
A ton.
There was probably more there than ever. The first year, I don't know if it's just because it was the first year we were so overwhelmed, that it seems like there was thousands of people there. But the best number we've had in a couple of years.
It was 100.
It was, what, 5:15, I was telling Misty, do I need to go get more snacks? And she's
Yeah.
like, yeah, you better.
Yeah.
5:15.
Yeah.
And there's a line out the
They just come in
door.
and drove. Yes, there was a
So-
lot of
I was
kids.
just curious.
It was really good.
It was very successful. I talked to some,
I wasn't sure with it being, like, because Valentine's was on Friday, so I was like, all these parents may be going out on Saturday, but it was packed.
I think we're one of the only ones that do it for free, though. Somebody else is doing it, and they're charging $50, I heard. in
Well,
Columbia.
and Zion had one that same night as a fundraiser for like one of their classes, like 10th, 9th, or 10th graders did it for like a trip they were going on, and they were charging like $20, so. And there was, I saw a lady at the store, and she was like, tell the people that we're not going to Zion, because my kids go to school there, we're coming to yours. That's what she said.
My wife teaches everybody, I have no idea.
But that's what she said, she said, we're coming to yours because yours is free, and we have 4 kids.
So I think that's a very good
Yeah.
thing for the community in the area. We are getting some other people from the other areas, but I mean, that's great. It shows you that, you know,
Some of the pictures I've done there, the kids were from somewhere else.
yeah.
We had some,
Very
we had some
successful.
homeschool kids.
We did.
Thank y'all for helping out with that. It grows and grows every year.
All right, new business tonight, we have the music in the park.
So Music in the Park, the first one was this past Saturday. We had to move it from Arrow Mines Park. We moved it down here. This is not something that I just kind of help out with, but it's paid through the CDC and a grant that they did. The next one is scheduled at Gardenia, April 18th, so I'm on that one. Beverly's helping me out with that one, so if anybody wants to show up, that's supposed to be a really good band up there. It'll be from 3 to 5 at Gardenia Park, and then of course May, 3 to 5 at Rotary Park, so kind of put those down on your calendar if you're not doing anything. I wasn't here this Saturday, I had to go to Bowling Green for something, so, but there is one on April 18th.
But that's not through us really, because I had some people.
Not through us, I kind of put it on there
I
to
didn't have
get
a
help
clue.
and support
Yeah.
for Donna.
Okay,
you know.
so it's through the CDC.
Yeah. First one had 30 people, which is, you know, kind of average.
Did I do any kind of advertising for that?
You should have moved it to Splash Pad Park, whatever that is, because I had a softball tournament that day.
That'd been
and-
awesome.
And you'd have got a lot more people there.
Yeah. I don't plan those days.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I just put them on there so everybody knows when they're at. B,
B was the splash pad rink.
Oh, we already got to that. so I'll go ahead and tell Misty and Lindsay, I believe you weren't here, but, so this is all your stuff right here. I'll make it real quick and simple. But I'd moved the splash pad off until August because there's just no way that's going to happen this summer right now with ordering parts and all that stuff, the type of stuff you need. So it'll be approved in the middle of April and then it goes to the state. So, but this is everything. Keep it, don't lose it.
There's a bunch of the father-daughter pictures in that, this issue, so I'll give you all.
Sweet.
Hey, do you have access to the Facebook page? Okay, well, I put them on my personal Facebook page. And just put father-daughter dance, Jay.
I will find them.
I think Misty put some up too.
I did, I put a few, yeah.
I shared them with something.
Yeah.
So no more new splash pad meetings, we're good on that.
Thunder over Murray.
Thunder over Murray is, Thunder over Murray, so it's moving forward. It's moving forward, it's been, very fun this year, I guess to say, that, we're really still trying to work with, other entities and, the county, so the county is on board, they're helping me out with maintenance staff and different things like that. I've got, Spring Hill, again, Spring Hill's down at Parks Director right now, so you've got, Sonia Ryan that's filling in on that, but she's gonna help us out in the Kids Zone section and trying to get some extra stuff down there for that. And of course, you got this, CVV, so, you know, Rachel's the assistant director on it this year. So we meet with the EMA team again tomorrow. So it's, moving forward, but again, it's, one of those things that this year is supposed to be the year that is everybody involved, and my goal is that in the future, that all the different parks departments and the counties and stuff can really put their stuff aside on what's happened over the past 10 years, I don't care. They just need to, we need to come together a little bit more and try to work it out. So, Mount Pleasant, is putting in much more than what I originally suspected, but it is what it is, and we're gonna keep that going, and, Mayor Ogles is very happy, the way it's going. I meet with him on Friday again as well. So I think the event can be really good. In the future, we're still looking at skydivers. I thought I was gonna have one this year, but someone bringing in the American flag, but, you're gonna need a lot more time on that to be able to make that happen. So I did just sign the paperwork the other day for a Blackhawk. So Blackhawk will be touching down, coming in for several hours. National Guard's coming out, bringing a bunch of their equipment out.
People get to
You'll even see the
look
new,
at it, people be able to look in the,
the what now?
the Black Hawk, will people be able to like look in it and,
He will come in and fly in, and they usually kind of static display, and then when they leave, they usually kind of do a little,
So kids can't touch it?
I meant like when he's here, can you like look in it?
Yeah, usually the kids can get in it.
Okay.
Usually they let them get up to it and, at least kind of go through it a little bit. You'll have Vanderbilt there as well, with one or two of their apparatuses, things, and, I'm hoping this year to be able to get I think, Philip's gonna have one of his fire trucks that we can have there. If it's gotta go, it's gotta go, of course. We're gonna have a cool new, the running joke right now is the fire department police boat that's red, will be out there. But that'll be it. And my whole goal with that is,
The police department boat is red.
yeah, police department boat, but somehow I got painted red, because that's fire department. I think it's kind of funny, but whatever. So, but my goal with that is I really want, the whole thing with Thunder over Murray is if you look at the thing again on Thunder over Evans that I gave you, and you look at stuff like that, it really gets some of these high schoolers and kids interested in what they want to do in life. So when you have fire people there and different service members there, different departments and recruiters and different things like that, kind of gives when you have the stuff sitting out there. I kind of told him at Thunder over Murray, my best friend Greg, who's a firefighter now at the Fairfax, when he was in high school, he was sitting in high school class and he went to lunchroom and, the Coast Guard had one of their jet skis in there. So he thought he was going to be some type of Coast Guard guy and going to be a lifeguard out on some beach somewhere. Yeah, right, he was on a cutter or whatever. But the ultimate thing is when you show different things like that out there, it kind of gets kids interested and, and that was a concern of mine, and having some teenagers at the center that don't know what they want to do when they graduate. And so that might be an avenue to be able to show, some might want to be a firefighter, some might want to go, and there's just so many different service organizations out there. So, but it's moving along. I think it's going to be much bigger this year. Lots of new things we're kind of adding. Kids Zone's expanding, and A Museum's going to be there as well, doing some stuff. So, moving along.
Still gonna be free?
Yes. So, well, that's the plan. So I meet again on Friday with the mayors over the budget. So that's the plan. We haven't done all the advertising on that yet, so I'm waiting to see where we're at on my budget.
It's free if we get the sponsorships that they're committing that they can get, but we haven't heard what they have.
So if for some reason I don't get the sponsorships I need to be able to continue the event, we're going to have to charge. And that's why we kind of made it countywide. So hopefully...
Mayor Ogles has been talking about it as a free event, just so you know.
And they all wanted it to be a free event as well. So
Yeah.
that's what they're in charge of.
And 2 to 10 is still the time, we're thinking?
The what now?
The time, 2 to 10?
2 to, well, I mean, in May, you're looking at probably fireworks going to start about 8:20, I think, so 2 to 9.
Airmont Park Eagle Scout Project.
So, Aeromine's Eagle Scout project, that is, that should be unfinished, but it's good, it's not any business. We are moving forward with that. We've already got, I've got a meeting next week with Dominic, another one of our scouts, that's working on that, and instead of going all the way through the back part of the woods and going through and putting so when I started walking this trail, and someone might have walked this thing 10 years ago or whatever, but when we finally got back there, we realized that you got to cross the river. You know, and I'm like, how in the world did they get this trail to connect? I mean, where did they connect it? I have no clue. And we kept walking and walking and walking, and there's no way across. You've got to go through that. I mean, water was moving pretty good that day, so probably about a good 50 foot back there. There's no way to get poles and different things like that back there. So I got with Mount Pleasant Power Systems. I've got with Arrow Lake Foundation, which is I'm on the board of directors for that, and they're very interested in putting some trails. So we'll find out next Wednesday, but I'm pretty positive I'm voting for it. I know Al's voting for it, that they'll finance that part of it. So when you go into Arrow Mines, where the backstop is, where they cleared out the woods back there, we're going to put the bridge across there. Start there so you can get across, and then you'll be able to start filtering through and we'll start cutting in this trail. So the project will probably cost about $3,000 to $4,000 with nice wood and all that type of stuff, and telephone poles and all that, but I'm expecting that Arrow Lake Foundation will pick that up, and that'll be our first actual trail that we actually have within the city. And as whatever happens with Arrow Lake and all that kind of stuff in the future, we want to start connecting some of these, if it's with a bike path or a walking path or whatever, but we really need to start back there anyway, because that's the other side of town. If we ever build in from there, and then you can start connecting things from there. So I'm not expecting there's going to be any issues with that to be able to be financed, so.
All right, women's softball.
So, this is in place also with Babe Ruth. So I just talked with James. James is still trying to, Kevin is still trying to get with his crew that uses Howard Field over there, and try to find out. He's got some help this year from people because he's a traveling nurse, so he's gone a lot. So I've got several different people that are interested in helping him out. One is Sergeant Odom. He's interested in trying, he can be around, his kid plays, as well as, is Keith's last name Jennings?
Yeah.
The new public works guy?
Oh, that's Keith McCafferty.
Okay, so Keith. He's interested maybe as well. I guess he's got an older kid or something?
He has a middle schooler.
So he's also kind of interested maybe in helping out a little bit. So that'll probably be like Tuesdays, Thursdays, I think is when they met. So the women's adult softball league has come up to my attention from Sergeant Odom. He called me the other day, and he says there's a big group of adult ladies that want to start a softball league where they can play with other people in other counties and other places too. So they would only have games here probably like on Sundays is when they would do them. They can kind of practice anywhere. So they're asking for if we can work that in with the other group, would we be interested in that? Me personally, I think it's great because they're using the field even more and more. If they're wanting to use it, why not? And we spent some money on that concession stand. And Kate, your son played, so I believe the games and stuff that they did last year were like on Tuesdays and Thursdays, right?
Mm-hmm. Maybe Tuesdays, Fridays, Thursdays, and Fridays.
Okay, maybe Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays. He said they would really only be weekends, most likely Sundays, because most of people are working and things like that anyway. So, as well as Kevin is looking at starting the league out this year, middle of June. And he has some reasoning, which makes sense. He said normally what happens is by the time high school baseball gets done, summer's just getting ready to start. So you lose a lot of kids, and you put more kids on the league from there. And then the first 2 weeks of summer, what happens?
Rain.
Well, no, everybody goes on vacation.
Oh, that too.
Everybody goes on vacation. And he said last year it was a nightmare trying to even organize games the first 2 weeks. He said, so let's extend the season through the summer, because that's mainly when you can do it. People are still going to be on vacation here and there, but nowhere near as bad as he said the first 2 weeks. So he's supposed to get back with me on that, make sure it's going to play out or whatever. But so we got two different options there, and I think we can make both options work. I like the idea of the.
We have played with softball on Sundays before, and that worked.
Yeah.
So it's done. It was just,
He's looking at actually running that league. starting that league.
Just like, it wasn't just all women, it was co-ed, but they did have some.
Yeah, I think this one's like pretty much all women league that he wants to do, that he's had a lot of people ask him about, and they've asked about Howard Field. So with your all's approval, I think we should, I can't vote, but I think that would be a good idea to move on that as long as we can stay it in with the schedule.
I mean, if it's a local group,
You want to take a vote on that? Should we take a vote on that? That way it's in the minutes.
we can, do you have any of that, do you even know the name of the league or any, I mean, do you have any information on
No.
it?
Just that Ray Odom is one of.
Ray,
Yeah.
I can get that for next month in April.
Yeah, well, we got time.
I'll let them know that you guys are
I mean, we
cool
just,
with.
you know, if we're gonna make a motion, we want to do it with exactly.
With a league on there?
Use it,
That's fine.
not just let, I mean, that could be anybody.
Yep.
No, that's fine. I'll let them know that he needs
If it comes to
to.
you between now and then, that says an all Mount Pleasant, you know, just make sure that this is a group that's local. And, you know, that they're a real group, we have a name, we have a contact, we have a
Insurance.
insurance, you know, we have all the proper documentation before we vote on it.
I'll work on that. He just wanted to make sure that, you know,
Yeah, I think
before he
it'd be
moves
great.
forward with it,
Yeah.
that, you know,
I think
so it
it'd
sounds
be
like everybody
great.
would be in favor of it anyway, so
Yeah.
I'm game with that.
But I would feel better if we were gonna do a motion to have it for the exact group. All right, strategic plan, updating.
So updating strategic plan, I put that on there, but we're also looking at updating our strategic plan. I've talked with Donna, and she wants to do that maybe sometime late summer, first part of fall, that we can do our 5-year plan and really look at that, go through it and what we did, and what we've completed. So I've gone through a lot of it, and we've done a lot of that. I've also updated the strategic plan for the city, which has most of that stuff on it. I think I've pretty much completed almost everything.
Yeah, but then what you sent, we go to the commission, and we have a big strategic plan March 26th, and they got to buy into what the department heads say their plans are. So we're in the process of that.
So, and most of that, like I said, is our 5-year type thing. It's all already on there, and some of that stuff is updated in there. And so I just want to revisit that because it's been about 3 years in October that we actually wrote that 5-year strategic plan. It was the first big one that I've seen around here that we've done. So I just want to revisit that. So kind of start thinking about your ideas and different things that's coming up that we can do. In 2 more years, we can apply for another grant. We're going to miss this cycle. So I had to have this thing completed before the next cycle goes out, and there's just, you know, it starts next month. So they'll make decisions on that. It's got to be turned in by July, but you can't turn it in unless you have your other one completely done.
Completed, and every invoice is paid, and everything's done.
Everything's done. And I'm going to be honest with you, I've talked with some of the state-type people. 98%, 99% of the towns, that's what happens. You know, and to be fair, they're probably trying to spread that wealth to other communities and type of stuff like that anyway. So that's, you know, I thought we could be in the 1%, but it is what it is.
All right.
That's all I have.
Any other new business?
Any questions for us?
I have one question. I mean, I just want to make sure I did this right. Our flyer on Daddy-Daughter Dance said 5 to 7. Somebody, whoever created the post on the Facebook, like, calendar, put it 6 to 8:30, but I just went in and changed it.
Okay, that was on Facebook?
Like, you know, like, I mean, I usually make the Facebook post, but other people make like the calendar one, that it's like a I never do that one. Somebody always puts it like as a city event, like in
Okay.
the calendar.
But you already changed it.
I did change it.
Okay.
I just wanted you to know, because I got a message on Facebook about that it was different, and I went in and it was different. And I
I'll
just
find
said-
out who did
Well, I
that.
mean, we put however many 500 flyers out that said 5 to 7, so even if we had changed it,
Because all the flyers I sent out say 5 to 7.
they did. Yeah, so I think regardless, even if we, like, 'cause I missed the last meeting, so I think I did. Yes. Yes, I did.
I know you did.
Yeah. So I was just like, if they changed it, the flyers say 5 to 7, so we don't have to change it to 5 to 7 regardless.
We didn't change it.
So I went in and changed it, but just when we send out, whoever does the calendar, do you know who does that?
don't know really who does. Do you know who does the calendar for that part?
Kind of spread around right
Okay.
now, so we get an IT person.
I didn't realize I could change it, and I just played around with it till I figured out that I could actually do it.
Then you are in charge.
No, no. No. I just realized that once the post was made, I could go in and I could edit the time.
Was it on the community page or the?
It's on whatever, like, just comes out, like, under the city, but as like a count, like, save to your calendar, or save the date, or save the whatever,
I've looked into that.
Thomas,
and it said 6 to 8:30.
I have a question. In the past, has there been any talk or interest in a community garden?
Yes. We have a community garden.
Okay.
That was started 2 years ago, maybe, a year and a half ago. It's actually up there on the top part of Gardenia Park.
Okay.
It started, and we had a group of people that were kind of working with it, and it phased out last year.
We brought water out there, and there was raised beds, and it's just a group that was initially involved, just kind of got uninvolved.
Okay, the reason I asked, I just moved here in February, so I'm new to the area, and I have a garden firm that's what we do. We go around locally in Middle Tennessee and install raised bed gardens and that kind of thing, people that want to grow their own food. So if there's any kind of way that, we could help out in that kind of way, getting that going. we'd love
If you
to-
get like a group of people together that are interested, 'cause it's still up there,
Yeah,
it's kind of, they plowed it, and we put water in for it. We got a water line that goes all the way to the back, and
Okay.
then the group they were very active on it the first year, and then it just kind of disappeared.
okay.
We'd love to see that, restarted up there.
Okay, good, check it out. And that's, is that near the high school, or where's Gardenia?
Gardenia is gonna be across the train tracks right here, right at the light right here.
Okay,
Go across the train tracks, you're gonna go up the road about a quarter of a mile, and you're gonna see a neighborhood that's right off to the right past the apartments,
okay.
and there is a park back there. It's a very nice park. It's a
You
huge
turn
park.
on Gardenia,
Okay.
and then you dead end into
The
the
park.
8 acre park,
Okay.
yeah.
Cool.
It's one of the biggest parks we have, and it's a very nice park. I just put a bathroom up there, we just put a new swing set up there, we put a gaga ball pit, one of my Eagle Scouts doing an Eagle Scout project up there. It's got a backstop up there and just rolling fields. So it's up on the top left-hand corner is where they originally had it. They had some raised beds towards the front, but nothing ever really transpired after the second year, so.
I had a question about, I texted you the other day, about the baseball fields. We had a league from Columbia out there playing on the fields, or practicing on the fields.
Yeah, 14 phone calls I got on Sunday.
Did you get a lot of phone calls?
Yeah, about 14.
I didn't know, I told the guys that said, I don't know what kind of insurance purpose, like what is the cities reliable for, since they were with Columbia Baseball Association. I'm like, I don't know if that's allowed or what. That's why I texted you about that.
So, there is, we kind of were looking around for that, there's really no ordinance in place that shows that our fields can be used for really any purpose as far as a public place to play. We kind of looked into this, me and Kate kind of talked about this. The only thing that I see as what I told, I don't know who I was talking to the other day about it, is that, maybe it was Jamie or somebody, once we condition those fields, once those fields are conditioned and we're putting stuff on them and we're using them for play, and I kind of, after I even talked with Kate, I kind of look at this way, that if you need a field, you need to practice baseball or something, then use one of the practice fields.
Yeah.
Using a field that's been conditioned and all that type of stuff that you're not putting any money into, I don't know, how do you feel? And this is after we talked, so I agree that right now it's not conditioned, go ahead and use them.
I don't know that I agree with that. If our local leagues want to use it, they have to provide insurance.
And this was
So
like
these are
just on a Sunday afternoon, there wasn't
But
a
if
conflict of time, but I talked about the insurance.
But if
Yeah.
if it's an organized league and it's not just a group of kids getting together to play, and this is an organized
Yeah.
league, they should have to provide insurance and get permission.
And I learned more about that after I got done with you as well.
Yeah,
So it is
I mean,
more of an organized.
We used to lock the gate, because we had people that done that, and they left their trash all over the
Yeah.
field.
Yeah.
So we were constantly having to go pick up trash, so we locked all the gates.
So when I called Lee on like Monday or Tuesday, I think it was Monday, I told Lee, it's like, hey, look, if you're gonna use the field, right now for just practice before they get started or whatever, just send me a text, let me know. He said, okay. And so I get back to him if there's anything else comes up. And then I started thinking about it and started learning that it's more of it is a,
And it's a liability.
he's telling me he's got 7, 8, or 9 kids that are from Mount Pleasant. But then I got a phone call that we have a sponsor, that's out there that was upset because they pulled some of those kids and they're using that field that they sponsor. And so it gets to be, so that's where, help me out here, Kate.
So I think we need to, we have to require, everything we require from the other leagues to play on those fields for sure. And then, we collect money from the other leagues.
Yeah.
So if it's if they're playing just, like practice like today, there was some group that was over right behind the center, which is on county property. It wasn't the little girls, it usually is, it was males, boys, I believe, that were out there. I don't know who they are, but it's not my field. That belongs to the high school. I don't know who they were, but they were over there playing. So I think if you're really just in a ballpark, I don't know, if you're just in a ballpark playing on a practice field, is that allowed?
Well, it needs to be scheduled, it needs to be organized, they need to clean up after themselves, there needs to be some sort of an agreement with them.
But here's another thing, because I know who you're referring to. He's on the Brewer Field practicing. If it gets dark, they know the 1-800 number, and they know the passcode to turn the power on, that we're gonna be paying electricity for.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's another thing.
But, I mean, I totally agree that once you start conditioning the fields, I'd lock them.
I don't think anybody that's not paying to be on that field should be on it regardless if they're conditioned or not. I mean, like, last night, somebody between 6 o'clock when I left the park until I got back to school this morning, opened up my gate and my field is completely ruined.
I saw them yesterday. I thought
That's
it was a
great.
group of boys.
No, I mean, I'm like, it's bad, like, to the point that I put 10 hours of work into it and now it's gonna
We
take.
started locking our gates when Summertown DCU, it snowed and people took a four-wheel drive vehicle in the middle of their baseball field, cut down.
And I've seen that in some other places too. Normally, if it's like a church group or somebody wants to go out there and play some baseball one day,
They go to a
that's
practice.
legit.
They go to a practice.
They go to a practice
They're not
field,
gonna
that's
use your
legit.
game field.
I learned a little bit more about this
People
group
have to keep
as the week went
They're
on.
used to it.
You know, yesterday.
You'll have to
did.
check.
I think we need to revisit the agreements we have with the other leagues.
Right.
Well, and you don't practice on a game field, ever. Because, I mean, even the local leagues can't practice on a game field. So you sure don't want out-of-towners practicing on a game field, because it ruins it. I mean, every time
Well,
you
but
use it,
also, you don't have enough time for everybody to get a time on the
Right.
field. So it's not fair for Lindsay's team to be able to practice on the field every Tuesday, but I can't just, because it won't work out with the schedule.
Right.
So you can't show favoritism into one team and not the other. And if
Right.
you're definitely not
We'll
gonna let the
revisit, and
ones that
I'll
stay,
call them up and I'll say,
You
you
don't
know,
want the ones
if
that don't
it's an
pay.
organized group, which is up there, everybody's telling me it's from Columbia,
It is.
and it's an organized league, then, you know, we don't have insurance on them, they're an organized group.
And you just don't practice on a game field, because they're not gonna rake it, they're not gonna drag it, they're just gonna
No, they're just
play
gonna use
leave.
it. They're just gonna use it and
They're not
leave.
gonna spend their money on it
No.
specific something if they break.
Well, don't they have practice fields? I mean, I'm sure the league that they play on provides practice.
What they're
fields.
trying to tell me is that these kids, because there weren't enough kids in that age group to play in Mount Pleasant, so this group formed, and it's mostly 7 or 8 of them is from Mount Pleasant. And so, that's why they were wanting to, you know, it's Macy and Lee, I believe, that runs the group.
But we haven't started our league yet, so how do they know that there's not enough kids to play?
Do it now?
If you said that they said there wasn't enough kids to form a team, but how do they, we haven't started our league yet, so how do they know?
So, from what I understand, I think that they formed a league in Columbia, with a Columbia
Columbia doesn't
Association.
Yeah.
Gotcha, okay. I
Columbia
thought like Mount
doesn't
Pleasant,
have-
and I was like, we ain't even started yet.
Well, those kids need to come to Mount Pleasant.
Exactly.
Yep,
They
so,
pulled kids from Mount Pleasant and went to Columbia.
Yeah.
yeah, that's
And they're gonna have to still there. Why do that when you come here and practice on real estate?
Right.
Yeah,
That's
those
the whole.
those Columbia League practice on corners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct.
We've all practiced on corners.
That's
I
what,
practiced in
that's
my
what the Mount
front
Pleasant
yard.
League do. Y'all practice on grass.
We practiced in my front yard
Yeah.
for
But you
years.
may, Thomas, want to call because, I mean, I still know the username and password is like, this is my.
Well, no, I mean, I'll talk to them, I called them the other day.
Yeah, but like, I think you could call that 1-800 number and tell them, hey, this is who
Update it.
I'm with, and say, hey, I need to
Change it.
change username and password
Yeah. On the light.
on
Yeah.
the
Oh.
light.
Yeah.
Just about every citizen in Mount Pleasant knows the.
Might be time to change it anyway.
Well, I thought, I was thinking, because when I just joined the Dixie Youth League as a board member, and everybody has everything. So we started changing locks on
Yeah.
test stand.
Yeah, you did, 'cause I went out there and tried to get in there, but I can't even get in there.
You got a key?
I'm calling Lindsay and everybody else to give me a key to get in the building.
Well, sorry.
People were going in there and getting drinks and stuff like that. I'm like, you know,
You know,
it's
real well doesn't turn the lights
in
on.
a charity case, you know, it's still.
Like, I
people
stepped
get
down
money.
from the board, I gave y'all my
Everybody
keys
keeps
back,
their-
but I don't want your keys.
We're trying to give Lindsay's keys back.
No.
Well, I'll work on that and I'll try to get it figured. I haven't seen any more texts that came through on that, but I'll deal with that.
Okay. All right, if we have nothing else, I'll entertain a motion to.
That's a good motion.
And a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Yeah. 45 minutes, that wasn't too bad, was it?
So Emma, do you know what time?
Supposed to be easier
they're
than
gonna, like,
commission
pull-
study session.
Do you know what time those boys are on my field?
Those can go 2
I
hours.
was driving through there, give me just a minute, I'll check my phone. Do you need something signed or something to say you're here? You need
No, I
an
can prove it is
agenda?
here.
You want an agenda, and we can sign it you're here?
Yeah, there's some
There's
up there.
agendas right there, we can sign that agenda.
You just grab that one right there and hand it to Howard Ray. And then you can tell them that we talked about all that stuff here. She's gonna ask you questions.
We got this.
Listen to Lou, don't listen to Tom.
All right, don't lose your, nice 3 years of work right here.
I like that, we do it every month. So that's, or are you going over? That's where I'm going. Okay.
I'll be back.
A new one. Or if you want to give me your email address, we can.
Hello, buddy.
We're all doing. Huh? Oh, it's there. I heard, baby, you not wearing a hat in here?
There you go, honey.
Oh, darling.